What is going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday, as my kids say from those Geico commercials. Hump day. They're all obsessed with that right now. Like I don't understand, but that's just parenthood at its finest. Art Eddy here. I'm with my main man, Jon Finkel. Out and about. There was a snowstorm, not in Texas, but a rainstorm, thunderstorm. So stay safe, man. How you doing out there?
I'm good. I'm good. I got the interior bricks today, so I wanted to keep it real, make sure we were doing, keeping it real. I like to take walks usually when we do our show. It's my time to get out and about, but the rain has forced us inside, so I'm doing what I can.
Gosh, man. As always, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know your thoughts on the topic. As you see, the topic I put kind of said kids and pets, but my main man thought about let's do a topic about when you were growing up. What were some of what was your family pet? Did you have a connection to it, or even now with your kids, are there like certain pets that you guys have that has a connection to it, or you guys think about a pet, getting a pet? Why? What type of pet? Let us know. We're the pet experts, I guess. not that we're any pet expert at all. We're not a dog.
Hey,
Whisperer,
whoa, whoa,
cat
whoa! I
whisperer.
worked at Petco for a summer. I do have pet experience on my resume.
Again, we are not pet experts, but we want to know what's happening. Let us know your thoughts. We got our boy Rand saying hello. What's up, sir? Hope you're having a good
What's up,
day.
Rand?
John, talk a little about, because I know if people follow you and they check out the Sweating Before Six, or they'll just check out your Instagram or Twitter stories or Facebook stories. They'll say that you have a gym partner, right? Like,
Yes,
so
my lab works out with me, and to the extent that he sleeps on his bed in the gym, but like he's just there. I'm omnipresent for almost every workout, whatever the time is in the morning. Although lately, now that it's getting hotter in there, in the morning, as you know, I get in. I'm in there at like 5 a.m. and it's now that it's Texas, the heat is turned, so it's actually like 75 or 80 in there. And he's an old man now. He's 10, so sometimes he'll poke in, like sniff around. It's a little hot. He'll go back in the air conditioning and work out. But for a bulk of the year, he'll hang out with me. And then in the morning, the problem with him is there's no sun yet for him to lie in. So as soon as the sun comes up, like if I'm in there on the weekends or something, he'll lay on the driveway and lay out in the sun. But he likes to bail. But he's my guy, man. Yeah, that was one of the reasons I thought about it. Was he turned 10 recently, and I was thinking like all the moments of our lives. We had him before we had our kids. He's involved. Like I start every day with my walk with him. We hang out. Like he as everybody who has dogs or cats or whatever your thing is, a member of the family. I just did a Yoda. A member of the family they become, and but they do. And then I was watching my son lately. Now, like he's old enough, my daughter's old enough to walk him, not outside in the yard like by themselves, but when we go out, like they'll walk him, they'll pick up his poop, like they'll feed him, like they have their own little bond with him and their own little jokes and things with him, and it's very cool to watch. And it's one of those things where I wanted to see from other dads, like what is the bond that you notice. And again, I know people have cats, so there's plenty of people who bond with cats, but I'm largely a dog dude when it comes to that stuff. I know you have cats, so do your kids bond with the cats the same way? What are they bonding with?
well, first of all, I gotta say, because people are kind of talking, because we have a funny story about cats and like how you're a dog person, but there was a time I'm gonna get into, like you and I were interacting, and one of my cats kept on talking, and we'll get into that in 1 second. It's a little tease, but crazy as a mom says, always cats. Our boy Rand says we had a boxer dog named Shazzy. That's great. Chris is saying what up. Crazy's mom saying again, we had a kitten and a puppy, but it set off my daughter's anxiety, so now she has a fish. That's another thing too. Thanks for bringing that up. Sometimes kids are scared of certain animals. I remember when I was hanging out in Buffalo visiting family, there's one of my cousins had a cat and a dog, and I was feeding the cat like some treats. Then I go into the next room, and they had a husky dog, and I was maybe like fourth, fifth grade. The husky was probably as big as me. Jumped on, not jumped on top of me, smelled. I was trying to give it a treat, and it was just me and him in the room. And he got on like his hind legs, smelled me, put his like paws right on my chest, was like sniffing around, and then bit my cheek.
Whoa.
And like I was like, nah! Like I started bleeding. I had to go to the ER. Like, and so for like a year and a half, I was freaked out by dogs. But to this day, I still want a golden retriever. I still there are certain dogs that I kind of want. But I'm glad you kind of brought that up, Crazy Mom, because like yeah, we do have that anxiety and fear. So Steve is saying, hey. Adam is saying my kid loves dogs and cats, but isn't very good at being gentle. That's another thing too, where the younger kids you have, like toddlers, it's like, all right, it's not like of Mice and Men where it's like, okay, George, like it's not gonna, you gotta treat the cat and dog and animals with kindness.
Well, that was where for my lab, we have a lab. He's like 75 pounds, 80 pounds. when both the kids were little, of the age that where they would just basically treat him like a jungle gym. They would sleep on, like, he was so good. I mean, what's amazing to me, and the coolest thing about labs in particular, I know there's a lot of other breeds that are like that. You know, any retriever, a lot of the shepherds and stuff that can really, you know, become a part of like the family in terms of their size and their substantial, where they would just lie there and let the kids do anything, pull on their ears, pull their cheeks up, like grab their tongue, fall asleep on their back. Like, there was some inherent thing in nature and whatever it is. I would watch the dog and be like, if anyone else, if I did this, if you walked up and, you know, yanked on his ear, he'd be like, what's, you know, he'd stand up. But like, there's just that immediate, amazing bond that they have where the dog, like, it's a wild, you know, it's an animal, but it would let my daughter in particular would pretty much beat the crap out of him, and he would just take it and take it and take it and take it. And then eventually she would lay down on him, and we have all these pictures, which was like my favorite thing ever, of her getting tired and just kind of using him as like a lounge chair and just napping on him. And then he would go to sleep, and it was like they would nap together. And she was 6 months old, 9 months old, a year and a half old.
Yeah.
He was just cool with it. And it's not like he could speak. He was just like, this is my sister. We're good.
Yeah, that was her buddy, right? She would like take it around and like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. This is a cool a cat named Sluggo. Michael's saying that's great. Jason says boxer named Bucky back in the 80s used to drop me around by the drop me around my diaper. Nice. Drag, not drop. LMAO. What else we got? Wiener, a dog. We are a dog family. Nice. And Tila says, almost like I wonder if she's named after like the Master Universe. That'd be pretty cool. I have an old English who is my nanny, and she is the best. She loves my children, and she is our protector. She keeps children from hurting themselves. She's 6 years old now. That's great. And then I'm allergic to dogs and birds, so another reason for cats. German Shepherd here called Zeus. Nice.
That's a good name.
Before we go into these comments, so you and I one time were talking maybe about the show, about the book, whatever the case may be. And one day, like all of a sudden, you kept on hearing one of my cats go, like kept on meowing and meowing. He was like, dude, is that your cat? I'm like, yes, that is. And so, because your cat is like pretty much like stays away, doesn't do anything. And you like obviously have a feeling towards cats because of your own experience. I said, well, this cat, his name Judy. It was my mom's name. My mom passed away in 2012. We got two cats from the same litter, born on my wife's birthday, so there was like a special bond. When that cat, it was a kitten when we adopted her, she jumped out. All the cats got out of the cage and were running around. She just jumped on top of me. Judy did, sniffed my ears, licked my face, and the cat was like, and the lady was like, I think this cat was like, you know, picking you out. Then when I found out it was my wife's birthday, that they were born on my wife's birthday, and then my, you know, used to be my mom, was named after my mom. And so the cat bonded to me. And then like fast forward like a year and a half when we brought her home and all that stuff, I had my appendix burst, and like she would sit underneath my bed until I came home from the hospital. So this cat, like I almost like it's like a cat and a dog, because like she's always talking to me, and like when I'm not home, if I'm like traveling or something like that, my wife and my kids really don't hear. As soon as I come home, she starts like coming down the stairs and like starts talking to me, and like,
that's great,
dude, where have you been? And so we've had dogs when I was younger. We've had cats, but I think we just kind of morphed into like a cat family.
Well, when you just said when Judy jumped out of the litter and like sniffed your neck and licked your face, that is more interaction than I've had with the cat that I've lived with for 10 years. A decade I've been living with this cat, and we've never so much as like nodded to each other.
Yeah.
It is, if I am in one part of the house, it has been in the other. Every now and then we're like two ships passing in the night. Like I'll get up at night to get like a glass of water, and I'll see her eyes flint and run up the stairs. I've taken it to the vet a few times for, you know, it's my wife's cat. She had it before we got together even. I've taken it to the vet or done things like that for it. But in terms of any kind of meaningful interaction or relationship, I made a joke with it because that cat's like 16 and it's had some health issues. And I was telling my wife, I was like, you know, I legitimately tried to think of a single memory I have of this cat, and I don't have any.
Like in the corner, your dog is being like, yes.
He's like, that's what's up.
Yeah,
But I've heard people, like you've told me, I've had plenty of friends who are like, no, my cat's different. I've been over to some people's house who's like, the cat's sitting on the couch next to you watching TV, and it's like talking to you and meowing, and it's like some of them will play fetch or whatever. Like, you know, obviously all their good traits people say are like dogs. So I just fine. That's great. But the experience that I've had is just the pretentious cat who thinks they own the house type of thing, which whatever, it's fine. We're indifferent to each other. It's great.
Nice, man. David says, I'm a dad separated from partner with 2 twin boys, age 3, but one day I can see them. One day, hopefully I can see them. What should I do? Feel rock bottom. Just try and find ways to get in a hold. I know we're kind of switching topics. I thought this was going to be about pets, but just try and find ways to, like, incorporate yourself into their lives, man. I know it's tough, David, but thanks for sharing that. We got Brandon saying we had 2 English setters growing up, beautiful dogs. Hunter thought he was always a cat trying to lay on top of a couch, and Sadie was rambunctious and always a klutz running into everything. It's funny how you have like certain, like from like our litter, we have like the runt of the litter. It totally looks different than so the other cat's name is Galaxy. It's Judy and Galaxy, and like totally different. Galaxy is kind of like it's weird. Once we moved into the new house, she started liking us more and like coming up to us. When we lived in the old house, she just kind of wanted to do her own thing. But here, I don't know what it is. And we only moved right down the block. She loves. I'm guessing she loves this house more, which is just weird for like a cat to like be turned on about a house. I don't know the science behind that, but like she's more like interacting with us. She's like hanging out with us, and we're just like, this is weird. And she's now talking to us, not on the similar length as Judy, but like she's still like, for her, like she's coming out of her shell, which is kind of funny. It's just weird. Adam says, got a turtle called Squirtle, and my little girl is fascinated with it. That's great.
Yeah, we rescued a turtle the other day, and it was so little. It was awesome, but we decided not to keep it because I'm pretty sure the kids would kill it within like 2 days. My kids were like, we love this turtle. I said, if you love the turtle, then we're putting the turtle back in the pond. It's not going to survive. It was like a perfect size. It was maybe this big. Like it was just a baby. Somehow it got into the street. We have a couple lakes by us where we go fishing and stuff. And so I brought it over. I actually have a really cool video of it like going underwater and taking off. But the kids got so upset. And I was like, well, name it. It'll be fine. And we went fishing down there like 3 days later. And there was about 15 of the turtles that size. I was like, see, it's playing with his brothers and sisters better than dying in some bowl in your room after 2 days where you pick it up too much and give it, whatever human disease you have.
That's awesome. Rand saying, story with Shazzy is my mom is pregnant with me and my brother is 3. My dad is serving overseas in Korea, and that dog would not let my mom's parents get near the house. So that's kind of funny.
Yeah, dogs come. They get their own little. Like set of orders in their head, right? And they start thinking that there's just no way that you're going to do something. And our dog, luckily, he doesn't have too many of those weird tendencies. He just like his thing with the kids right now is he can't, because he has like bad hips and he's getting older. Like he has a lot of it's not real anxiety, but he can never decide which room to be in. Like it's almost like he wants us to, and I think he understands me, because sometimes I'll look and be like, hey, I'm only going to be in here for like 10 minutes. You don't have to like get up from all the way over there to come all the way over here.
Yeah.
Because he'll see you across the house and he'll be lying on his bed. He'll kind of get up and stretch and look at you. And I'll say like 10 minutes and he'll be like, all right. And he'll go back to sleep. Or I'll be like, hey, we're going to go in here and, we're going to watch a movie. Come on over. And he'll be like, it's like an hour. It's worth moving. I'll move. That's his thing now. So he doesn't know, he wants to settle in. And if we're not going to be somewhere, and you can tell, which is people all know their pets, like he gets visibly pissed if he moves and it's a short-term move. Like if he gets up and moves all the way across the house, like to our bedroom, because he thinks we're all in there for a minute, but then it turns out that like we were just getting our shoes or something, we were going outside and he could have stayed where he was. He visibly does like a, you human jerks.
That's awesome. You say like you humans, because like for Galaxy, she'll have a look and we'll be like, I'm like, yeah, what's up, humans? Like it's funny you say that. We got Rodney saying, I never had a dog as a youngster, but one for my kids, and he follows me around and doesn't care about my kids. And of course, our boy Sean Kingbird says, what's up, you 2 cool cats? Right back at you, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's funny too, like with because I was saying Judy's kind of like a cat and a dog. Just like about 2 months ago, this started happening. Someone rings the doorbell. I kid you not. I first said it. My wife and my kids like, no, she doesn't do that. She growls like a dog. Wow. Like you're like.
So you've got the hack. You basically need to find a cat who's a dog inside.
Yeah, and so and the funny thing is so like 2 days ago, or actually yesterday at dinner, We're all, we're at the table. Judy's kind of sitting near us, near the table, and all of a sudden someone rings the doorbell, and she starts growling, and they're like, "No way, she did that!" I'm like, "See, I'm not lying."
That's awesome. Yeah, like I said, our cat you never see it. So we have a dog. We have fish also. The kids actually we saved ourselves the naming of the fish because we just number them. So I think we're on like these three. These actually we just lost one this weekend, but these all up until that, the 5 that we had in this 1 6-gallon tank, now 4 were the fish we bought when we moved into this new house 3 years ago. So that's crazy. Like
That's pretty good.
like mollies and gouramis and all that have lasted. But they're in the Finkel family of having kids and fish. They're just numbers like 12, 13, 14, 15. Like
I love the fact you went like the Dr. Seuss route. 1 fish, 2 fish, 3 fish.
Well, because in the beginning, the kids would name them and they'd die so fast. In our other house, for some reason, we moved to Dallas, we would just lose fish left and right. It was like, oh, we had 6 for 2 days. He's gone. Now we'll just get 7. Yeah. And so now we have, I think we skipped one in the middle. It's like 10, 15, 16, 17 or something. But they're doing well.
Nice. So for you as a sports fan, do you kind of name, like, do you personally nickname like with the number 11, or if you had up to 33, like, what's up, Bird?
Well, obviously,
Bird.
yeah. Well, once we get into those numbers, number 12 was Brady. So he's obviously got like a ton of Super Bowls in the tank. He runs the place. He's the oldest one.
Have you seen that meme where, like, I forgot where it was from, but they did a Photoshop on Brady? He was like, getting ready, like, oh, the NFL in like 20 whatever. They made him look like had gray hair, put some wrinkles on him.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
And it's like Phillip Rivers' son is now catching passes from Tom Brady, and he's got like 12 Super Bowl rings or something.
So great. Hey, these are all facts. I don't see any reason why these things can't happen.
As I digress, Dustin's saying, I grew up with dogs, but my mother preferred cats. And now as an adult, I prefer cats. My daughter has grown up with a kitten, and the kitten has grown up to love the kid and is the kid's best friend. And it's awesome. Just as a puppy, she goes to show you that cats and dogs do not matter. Like, yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the family and all that stuff. And I also, we had Crazy as a life mom. We were talking a little bit about anxiety. She's like, anxiety is no joke. People are not kind when we had to get rid of the pet. That's the thing too, where I see why, like, people kind of have to, they feel regret about, adopting a pet and then having to give it back just because of that fact that it's like, kids are super allergic. I know one of our friends, they're looking to get a pet, but one of their daughters is highly allergic to, like, I think long-haired dogs. Short hair, they're fine, but it's got to be like a certain one. So, like, they've been going through for the past, like, I think year and a half trying to find something, and they were almost going to adopt, but the whole litter got not taken away, but they already got adopted, and it was like a perfect dog for them. And they're like, all right, now we're back on the hunt again. So,
yeah, I'm a fan of adopting dogs if you can, adopting cats if you can. Our cat is a rescue, and then our dog's not actually a rescue, but we bought him from my wife got him to surprise me a long time ago from a breeder, and but he had like all kinds of problems, bilateral hip dysplasia and Demodex and all this stuff that they're not supposed to have. And when we got him, there's actually a pet lemon law in Florida where if you find out after their first doctor visit that you have that there's all these genetic issues, you can actually return the dog. And so ours was actually eligible for that after having it for like 2 months. And then once we had the dog for 2 months, there was no way we were going to do that. So he's 10 and going strong, and he's had a pretty wonderful life. He just never, like most labs, he's never sprinted like. He hadn't sprinted since he was like 6 months old, but he's fine.
Nice, man. Sean Kingbert says, dog person, but wife and kids overruled me, and now we have a cat. His name is Milo Jenkins. Nice. Barn cat, no collar, outside, and is like the best pet ever. So that's awesome. Love it. A couple more before we go. Andy's saying, I had a short-haired golden retriever when I was a kid, and my wife found one, and she got it for Father's Day 9 years ago. He gets so well with my kids too. That's perfect. Like when you have a pet that, the kids come into it. And like you said, with your, John, with your, your dog and your daughter, like, treating your dog as a jungle gym, like swinging all over that, your dog. It's like, nah, it's cool. We're cool.
Yeah. He loves it. He'd be walking and she would just like, whatever. She'd flick his junk all the time. And like, we used to tell her to stop and he just let it happen, man. Didn't care.
Nice. Love it. As always, you guys have a great rest of the week. Father's Day is coming up. If you're looking for a great gift, people, This book right
Buy
here.
the book.
Life of Dad, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble. It's out wherever you can get it. It's perfect. We've been getting a lot of great reviews. If you have gotten the book and you're enjoying it, please leave a review, Amazon, or wherever you bought the book. We appreciate it. We didn't, we weren't on on Monday just because of the holiday, but we will be back on Monday. We're also check out, because we're going to be doing a special show next week, probably Tuesday, prime time, 9:00 Eastern. We'll be giving some stuff away, kind of celebrating Father's Day, having a cool topic. So stay tuned for that. And we hope you guys have a good week, and we'll see you all next week.
Yes. Thank you, guys.